Success does not announce itself with noise. It does not arrive with applause or warning. It is born in silence, in those invisible hours when no one is watching, no one is clapping, and no one believes. The world sees the trophies, the cars, the confidence, but it never sees the lonely nights, the doubts, the quiet war between who you are and who you must become. That is where success is forged, in silence. Every empire, every fortune, every legend you admire began the same way, not with fame, but with solitude. Thomas Edison in a dimly lit workshop, hands stained with failure, testing idea after idea in silence. Henry Ford, rejected, laughed at, told he'd never build a car for the masses, sitting in silence with his vision. Abraham Lincoln, broken by defeat after defeat, sitting alone, believing somehow that destiny still had his name on it. These men didn't wait for applause, they built in obscurity. They knew something most people never learn: silence is not empty. It's full of answers, because silence is where your real work begins. It's where discipline sharpens, where faith grows roots, where doubt is destroyed one decision at a time. In silence, you meet the version of yourself that excuses cannot survive. And in that confrontation, greatness begins. We live in a world addicted to noise, everyone showing, talking, posting, comparing. But understand this: real power doesn't need to be seen to be real. A seed grows underground before it ever breaks the surface. The foundation of a skyscraper is dug deep before it ever touches the sky. And the mind of a great individual must be strengthened in private before it ever commands respect in public. So if you find yourself in silence, alone, unseen, uncelebrated, understand this: you are in the forge. You are being refined by fire. Every sleepless night, every quiet doubt, every unseen effort is a strike of the hammer shaping your destiny. You don't become great by wishing. You become great by working while others sleep, by believing while others doubt, by rising while others rest. It's not glamorous, it's not loud, but it's how transformation happens. When you sit with your thoughts long enough, you begin to hear the voice that truly matters, your own. And that voice, when trained by discipline, will lead you to everything you were meant to become. Success doesn't respond to emotion, it responds to commitment. It answers the one who stays when others quit. It bows to the one who persists long after excitement fades. The truth is, success is not a moment, it's a mindset. It's the decision to keep building even when you don't yet see the results. It's the refusal to give up just because no one clapped. Because in silence, your faith is tested, and tested faith is the only kind that builds empires. Carnegie once said that the man who acquires the habit of persistence will find failure simply cannot withstand him. He understood the law that governs every achiever: your reward is always equal to your resilience. So when the world grows quiet, when your progress seems invisible, and your dreams feel distant, do not run from the silence. Use it. Silence is not your enemy, it's your advantage. While the crowd shouts, you study. While they gossip, you grind. While they rest, you rise. The silence is where you sharpen your sword, so that when opportunity finally calls your name, you do not respond with hesitation, you respond with mastery. People talk about luck, but luck is just timing meeting preparation, and preparation happens in silence. It happens when you wake before dawn. When you repeat the same routine for months. When you discipline your mind to stay focused when every distraction calls your name. Success is not found, it is forged. Like a blacksmith shapes iron through fire, pressure, and time, your destiny is shaped the same way. Each trial, each setback, each doubt is heat. Each decision, each act of discipline, each hour of focus is a hammer strike. And the silence, the space between, is what makes it strong. You see, most people break because they confuse silence with failure. They think if they're not being noticed, they're not making progress. But the wise know better. They understand the law of gestation, that all things take time. A baby grows in silence. A seed sprouts in darkness. And success matures in quiet persistence. When you learn to trust the silence, you become unstoppable. Because you no longer need validation, you only need vision. You no longer chase attention, you chase mastery. You no longer fear obscurity, you use it to build. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. That seed only grows when you plant it in faith and water it with action." And both of those, faith and action, are born in silence. Discipline is doing what you must, long after the feeling has left. It's waking up when it's inconvenient. It's writing when no one will read it. It's training when no one will watch it. It's studying when no one will applaud it. It's saying no when the world screams yes. That's the silence most people fear, but that's also the silence that separates kings from followers. Every champion you admire, from Muhammad Ali to Elon Musk, from Beethoven to Jobs, had seasons of silence. Years of being misunderstood, doubted, ignored. But they kept showing up. They trusted the unseen hours. And eventually, the world had no choice but to hear them. Ali said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." That's what silence is, the suffering before the shine. When you stop looking for instant validation, you start building eternal value. When you stop performing for the crowd, you start performing for purpose. And purpose is far louder than applause. Because here's the truth. The world respects results, not noise. They may doubt you now, they may ignore you now, but if you keep building in silence, they'll have to face the empire your persistence built. So build. Build without approval. Build without permission. Build without recognition. Because the silence that hides you today will reveal you tomorrow. Every second you spend in quiet work is an investment in your future power. Every habit you refine in solitude becomes a weapon in public. Every failure you endure without complaint becomes wisdom the crowd can't touch. And when that moment finally comes, when your name echoes through the world, remember, it wasn't luck. It was the silence. The silence built your discipline. The silence strengthened your belief. The silence trained your focus. And the silence revealed who you truly are. So stop fearing obscurity. Embrace it. Stop waiting to be discovered. Discover yourself. Stop looking for the right moment. Create it in the quiet. You are the architect of your destiny, and silence is your blueprint. The louder your purpose becomes inside, the quieter you'll need the world to be outside. Learn to love the grind that no one claps for. Learn to cherish the nights where it's just you and your dream. Because that's where the transformation is happening, even if you can't see it yet. There's a version of you that only silence can build. A focused, disciplined, fearless version, unbothered by noise, unstoppable by doubt. That version is waiting on the other side of consistency. When you master the silence, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, success has no choice but to follow. So the next time you feel unseen, unheard, unrecognized, smile. Because you're not being buried, you're being planted. And in time, what was once hidden will rise unstoppable. Remember this, the greatest power is quiet power. The most dangerous man is the one who no longer seeks attention. The most unstoppable force is the one who works in silence, believes in silence, and executes in silence. Success is not found, it is forged in silence. And when that silence ends, when your time comes, when the world finally sees what you've built, they'll call it destiny. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't destiny, it was discipline, it was faith, it was the silence that made you unshakable. And that is how greatness is born.